Minister Nagamutu meets with Chairman of Commonwealth Observer Team, and Upper Mazaruni residents reminded of coalition government's plan to build an educated nation. It's Wednesday, February 26. It's 4 days to general and regional elections. Thanks for joining us. Prime Minister, the Honorable Moses Nagamutu, earlier today met with Chairman of the Commonwealth Observer Team, Owen Arthur, where he reiterated the coalition government's commitment to free and fair elections. In an invited comment following the meeting, Arthur noted him along with his team will be diligent in their observation of Guyana's electoral process. Quote, "I think Guyana is putting together everything to have elections within the law. We are here not to run the elections or determine the elections, but to observe the elections." End of quote. Prime Minister Nagamutu expressed his satisfaction following the meeting, noting that the chairman was satisfied with the measures put in place for the hosting of elections on March 2, 2020. Quote, "He will see that nothing that is unusual should take place in an election that we hope would be credible, free and fair." End of quote. Meantime, addressing hundreds of residents from communities in the Upper Mazaruni, Prime Minister Nagamutu reminded of the coalition government's plan for building an educated nation. He assured that the proceeds from the oil and gas sector will go directly to this initiative.
And we intend in this government, after the 2nd of March, to return free education at the university. It is a right for all our young people to be educated, particularly now that we have oil and gas.
Prime Minister the Honorable Moses Nagamutu. Speaking to families and young people in the Upper Mazaruni on Wednesday, Prime Minister Nagamutu made it clear that persons living in the hinterland regions would not be left out.
We have to now prepare young people to be engineers, environmentalists, technicians, to prepare them for the future. And from oil, we will be having the revenue to do all of this.
PM Nagamutu also took time to thank the country's indigenous peoples for protecting Guyana's natural wealth, its pristine forest.
87% of our country is covered by virgin forests, beautiful forest that helps to make Guyana the green lungs of the world. The whole world is looking at Guyana to see how we can save this planet. And the people who we give credit for this are our indigenous peoples. They have been the great protectors of our country, the great defenders of our natural resources.
For InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
Director of the Department of Energy, Dr. Mark Bino, speaking on the National Communications Network's program Context, clarified aspects of the country's oil and gas sector. The Energy Director used the opportunity to reiterate that under the public sharing agreement, Guyana is receiving more than the widely purported 2% royalties.
The contract provides for 2% royalty on gross production. So all petroleum products that are produced, Guyana gets 2% royalty off the top. Additionally, we have something which is called profit oil. So each year at a minimum, you have 25% profit to be divided up between CNOOC, Hess, and Exxon, with 12.5% going to that grouping and a remaining 12.5% coming to the government of Guyana.
Touching on the country's local content policy, Dr. Bino stated that it seeks to closely align with the public sharing agreement.
We're speaking about something that is fit for Guyana, given where Guyana is, given where Guyana wants to be, and given the pathway that Guyana intends to follow to get to where it wants to be.
Crime in Guyana is at an all-time low. To ensure it stays that way, the government has placed over 100 intelligence surveillance cameras strategically across the city as part of the Safe City system. The pilot Safe City system is a component of the $66.8 billion national broadband project. The high-tech system can perform face and license plate recognition. Several police vehicles are also equipped with cameras and radios that can be traced and accessed at any time. From the security control room, operators have access to all of the cameras across the city. What is more important, is that the control room is also connected to all police stations in Georgetown, making the system more effective. The next step is implementing the Safe City system countrywide.
The ongoing preparation by the Guyana Elections Commission for the March 2 general and regional elections is well within its time frame and will lead to free and fair elections.
APNU AFC Commissioner Vincent Alexander said Guyanese will head to the polls on March 2, and despite the forces that try to distort everything that occurs, preparations are well underway. Commissioners met for the last statutory meeting on Tuesday.
I think that we are still within our deadlines and that there are no discernible difficulties in terms of holding elections on March the 2nd. I am convinced that the preparations will lead to an efficient election.
Other issues addressed at the meeting included matters raised by the opposition relating to the reduction in the use of private residence as polling stations for the elections. Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield had said that the Commission had taken the decision owing to recommendations by the Carter Center following the 2015 elections, which suggested that the elections body utilize more public places instead of private residences.
It means that there will be a review of the places which are said to be congested, and alternative arrangements may be made, including tentage, including the possibility of tentage to facilitate the less congested conditions.
On Friday last, President David Granger said that the APNU AFC commissioners in GCOM had no intention of disenfranchising anyone and that the selection of polling places rests solely with the Elections Commission. The president had noted, however, that the PPP had in the past abused the very system, causing many Guyanese to be disenfranchised. For InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
When the news returns, Hackathon 2020 to be hosted from March 13 to 15, and residents pleased with upgraded Westfront Road. Details of these stories and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Ministry of Public Telecommunications, in collaboration with the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission, will be hosting its 2020 Hackathon from March 13 to 15 at the Artichon Conference Center.
Minister of Public Telecommunications, the Honourable Catherine Hughes, said Hackathon offers opportunities for software developers, app developers, and other persons in the information and communications technology field.
We feel that each time we have a hackathon, there are new faces, more young people, more entrepreneurs, and hopefully this time around, more women that come on board and participate in the hackathon. We want Guyanese not only to be the users of the technology, but to be the developers also.
Commissioner of Guyana Geology Mines Commission, Newell Dennison, also highlighted the importance of the hackathon.
So we are prepared to experiment in this collaboration to determine to what extent we can use this as a tool, a mechanism to, to find solutions that we are grappling with in the sector. The Guyana Geology and Mines Commission, and by extension the Ministry of Natural Resources, is fully in support of this hackathon. We see it as just an entry point to what this kind of activity can offer. And we are very enthusiastic that very shortly, when the hackathon actually is launched, we will be able to have solutions that can be tested, prove successful.
From the Arthur Chung Conference Center with videographer Kenny-Ann Bacchus, I'm Gavin Lewis for InfoHub.
In its effort to provide a safe educational space for children, the government has established the Early Childhood Development Centers. This was made possible through a collaborative effort between the Basic Needs Trust Fund, BNTF, and the Office of Presidential Advisor on Youth Empowerment Unit. The required 3,200 square foot facility accommodates about 45 children under the age of 5, 8 caregivers, and an administrator. Each facility includes 4 care areas or classrooms, a sleeping area, sick bay, a staff room, an administrative area, storage spaces, a kitchenette, a laundry room, sanitary facilities, and an outdoor play area for the children. Thus far, 4 development centers have been commissioned in areas such as Ansgrove, Ithaca, Linden, and Anna Katrina.
Front Road, West Rheinveld has been upgraded, and commuters and residents are in high praise of the recent development.
It's perfect. I think this is a good way forward for the government, recognizing a community like this and doing a road for the people.
That was taxi driver of 3 years, Joel McRae. Janet Pompey, a resident within the community, expressed her satisfaction with the road works.
Well, it's a good job, well done. And I'm quite certain that the people in the community appreciate what they did.
A few other persons chipped in their views as well.
The road is smooth, a little wider, and then it have a lot of bumps now to slow down the speed for other road users that, exceed the limit. But, it just need to now brush up the parapet so the pedestrian could flow easier.
At least, in the nights when you go out and got to come back in, they ain't got for call, well, a whole set of money for, say, well, $1,000 for coming. They just call, well, $500 to come in the road now. But now that the road do is everybody want to go up and down the road.
West Front Road was among a number of streets to be done under budget 2019. Other roads completed include Fern Drive, better known as South Entrance, Essequibo Street, and Critchlow Avenue. Gavin Lewis for InfoHub.
24 residents of Kokwani in the Upper Demerara Berbice region on Friday last received leases from the Guyana Lands and Surveys Commission for the first time.
The leases were presented by Minister within the Ministry of Agriculture, Valerie Adams Yearwood, and Manager of the Guyana Lands and Surveys Commission Secretariat, Derwin Humphrey. Minister Adams Yearwood was involved in the process, which began in 2017. Residents had reached out to her when she served as minister with responsibility for housing.
I know they had to make several trips in here. They had to have several engagements with you. And today, and it wasn't easy and it wasn't cheap. It cost the commission these leases that they're going to distribute to you. But I'm happy that finally this part is over. I want to say that this is another promise delivered.
Humphrey urged the residents to make good use of their titles. On Thursday last, the Commission delivered some 36 leases to residents of Nurney Kildonan in Region 6. For InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
Before we close, here's your GCOM tip of the day. On Election Day, an elections official will give you your ballot paper with the official mark. This is how you mark your X correctly in the box next to the party of your choice. Make only one X on the ballot paper. Your mark must not touch any of the sides of the box. This is the correct way to mark your X in the box. Once you have made your mark, fold your ballot paper in half. Return to the election official with folded ballot paper showing the official mark. Stain your right index finger and place your marked ballot paper in the relevant ballot box. That's all for today. Connect with us on all our social media platforms, including WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Much more news is on our website, dpi.gov.gy. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye.